Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, of course, always keeping it real when it comes to theme parks, including keeping that spice going as well. And I'm so glad you guys are here hanging out with me on the Resort Recon live show. This is the live version of my video podcast series, and here we just kind of get together with myself and other theme park nerds, and we just chat about the stuff that we like about theme parks, news about theme parks, all that sort of thing, with an emphasis on being informed and having fun at the same time. So, in this show today, we've got it loaded. We have got to talk about Epic Universe because they dropped the opening date for not only when the park is going to open, but also with respect to vacation packages, and also with pass holders getting first crack at tickets. And I've got a little inside baseball for you as well if you are going to be attending MegaCon, because it does tie into Epic Universe a little bit. We're also going to talk about that crazy ass expensive skip the line pass that Disney just came up with. Wait until we show you exactly just how crazy expensive that is. And once we get that news out of the way, guess what? We're going to be talking about how you can decorate your house for Halloween or just the holidays in general. Just some DIY hacks from myself, from my panelists, just some stuff that we've grabbed out there and can give you guys some hints about how to do that. So before I bring in my panelists, number one, I want to thank Scott Westbrook for dropping those 5 gifted memberships. StreamYard decided to be stupid and not show them to me when I switched screens, but it is on the YouTube screen. So thank you so much, Scott, for gifting those memberships. Make sure that if you got one from Scott, that you say thank you, because he is always supporting channels, and I so appreciate very, very much. So before we get started, before I bring in my panelists in a bit, just want to remind you all that we are, I can't believe I did screen instead of video, we are about 7 away from 9K on my channel. And if we hit 9K on my channel, guess what? I am going to have a 9K subscriber giveaway, which will consist of an Epic Universe lanyard and the pouch. So you get a twofer with this. As soon as we hit 9K, I will give you guys details as to how the giveaway is going to commence. And if you think, hey, well, the Reina, is that thing for real? Is that thing for real? Yes, it's sitting right on Vampire Teddy right now. So Vampire Teddy is holding the lanyard and the lanyard pouch ready for the giveaway. So remember, we got 7. I think we got like 7 to get to 9K. So hopefully we can hit that sometime over the weekend. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. So let's see. We're going to bring in our panelists, my other, I call them theme park nerdy friends. We've got Erica and Rob, and we've got Ron Bradley for Follow Bradley's Fun. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
I have to adjust. I'm doing good.
You know what? It just hit me. I didn't have my Stark Industries blue light on. I'm like, why am I squinting again?
That's better.
Okay, here we go. All right. Whew. Okay.
Adjust my office view. Got my my Strange cup.
Your Doctor Strange cup. Yeah.
Cool cup. I like the shape of it.
Yeah, it changes color too. It's cold right now, but when you put a hot thing in, it changes. The color design changes.
It's like my Oogie Boogie mug.
You guys are bringing all like
bugs.
I feel left out, you guys. I brought this. I brought
this.
And y'all got your fancy mugs. You should have brought coffee. It's It's orange flavored Coke. It's
orange Coke.
Funny.
Did you make
good.
it?
No, I bought it. Look.
Okay.
I have seen that before. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, they used to have it at Epcot at Club Cool, and they took it out.
Yeah. Now they have a drink over there that is honestly worse than Beverly. And
Yeah,
it's
I
Chinese.
imagine
one.
that.
Yes, it tastes like a sweat sock. It's nasty.
It's pretty bad.
It is so nasty. I'm like, if you're going to do, remember they used to have the Chinese drink. I think it was watermelon flavored. It was really good. And I used to get that all the time. And then they got rid of it for this nasty plum sock drink, which is gross. It just pissed me off so bad.
I have some really great footage. I was there with Miss America and her daughter, who was Miss Virginia. Miss America from 1987, and her daughter was Miss Virginia, I think 2021. Anyway, and the face that she made when she drank that is precious. And I think I still have that footage somewhere. It's probably on my channel somewhere, but whatever. It was like oh God! Hey, it looked like she just drank poop. Just nasty.
That Chinese drink was so bad, I had to drink Beverly to get the taste out of my mouth. That's exactly how
Beverly is supposed to be what do they call it, an apartase or something like that,
or something like that.
Like you're supposed to drink it before you eat, and it's supposed to help cleanse your palate. It's I don't know, but I love it. I love Beverly.
I mean, you could have a thing of lemon lime sherbet. You know.
Yeah, you can
a scoop of lemon lime sherbet in Beverly would make a good float.
That's disgusting.
That's just nasty. Oh my gosh. I feel like I should be saying, is it better to be loved or respected? Too much to ask for both? Freaking love that line. Thank you, Linda Burns, for subscribing. I sure do appreciate that. Thank you so very, 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 very much. And let's see. Thank you. StreamYards is acting right. Keely Chow has been a member for 21 months. Wow. Thank you so much, my dear. Has been here for so long. And Roll Tide says Disney is finding ways to price us out. Yes, they are. If you remember what Chapek said, the pandemic basically gave them an opportunity to do things they normally wouldn't have been able to do. So they all got in a room, basically said, guess what? Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. And again, as your girl has an economics degree too, law of economics says they're going to push as much as they possibly can until demand drops to the point where they have to rethink what they're doing, and then that's when they roll the coupons out. Pretty much on time. Let me see. I see all you guys in here. 19 of you folks in here so much. I see ya. We've got a hard break for a 90-minute show. Yeah, that's really nasty.
Reina, how many more subscribers do you need? Where are you at?
You know what? Let me check. I'm the worst person for when people say, how many subscribers do you have? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really I honestly don't oh my gosh. Hang on. It looks like, and how come I can't see my screen? Wow, I'm only 3 away.
You can do it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, 3 away. Let's see if we can do this by the end of the show. 3 more, we'll be at 9K, and we'll be able to give away the Epic Universe lanyard that Vampire Teddy is keeping safe for y'all.
You know what? I was listening before and I heard you wrong. I thought you said you were giving away an Epic Universe first day ticket. My bad. Opening day ticket for May 22nd. So no, I don't. I'll wait until we're getting to that, right?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. That's actually our first one. Wow, 2 away now. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are going to thank you so much. We are gonna check, and Tom said Linda is my wife. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so exciting. There's so much with respect to Epic Universe, and I might as well just bring this one up here right now that I'm so excited about, especially with the merchandise that I've been seeing, and just so much cool stuff. But in case you've been under a rock and you didn't hear, the sound of millions of Epic Universe fans getting their mind blown, we have a date. May 22nd is when Universal's Epic Universe is officially opening. Now, I say the word official because there very well could be soft opening dates before that happens. It's happened with their attractions where they don't announce that it's open. It's just like, hey, we're doing a technical rehearsal. Why don't you come on in and check? Hey, oh my gosh, Erica, Tom, fit, fit and funny, Ron. Y'all are gonna make me check this, right?
That's me.
Well, we did indeed. Let's see, what do we got? 9, almost. Okay. Why does it say 8,900? That's kind of weird. That should be 9K. That's weird. Okay, let me look at that again.
Maybe you have to refresh your screen.
Yeah, I did. That's kind of weird.
Did you instantaneously lose 100 from YouTube?
Either that or I can't count. I don't know.
I thought it was
That doesn't.
894.
I thought it was. Don't tell me I'm doing all this hype and I'm just like couldn't count. Daggone it. 103 to 9,000. Oh man. Okay. Wow. Well, anyway, same thing still stands. We hit 9K. Guess what? We hit 9K. That's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm gonna be giving away. Engineering issue. Yeah, it was like a brain fart issue on my part.
That's why I don't math. I hate math. I can't math.
It's like I can do the super advanced math. Once you start doing that stuff, the simple math, you start to screw up with. That's how I got dinged. That's how engineers get dinged on exams all the time. It's something real simple.
No, I can't do any of it. I need a calculator for the simplest.
Sign differences.
I can't do math. So, I mean,
Can't do math.
It's just one letter off. That's all I'm saying.
Go and Chogi says, still a solid subscriber number, still good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I'm just excited to share this merch and stuff as giveaways. I've noticed a lot of other channels, when they'll come across things that they see like at the parks that are challenging to get, they'll offer them, as giveaways. So YouTube wasn't happy you hit a milestone and unsubscribed a lot of people. That will happen too. Yes, Mama Source Rex. I've seen that happen.
Dogs.
When I got to like 1,000 subs, it like dropped me down to like 970 or something like that. It was really weird. It was really strange. Yeah, like it was there and then it dropped. It was there and then it dropped. Weird stuff. But we keep pressing because
I always have a lot of that around milestones. Like milestone numbers, always it's like it will. I'll see my subscribers grow to the 9, and it won't go one over. and then it'll go back down. And then it's like, it's so weird. Like, who are they? I don't know where they come from. I've never done people buy bots to subscribe to them. Like, don't
I've
ever
heard
do
that.
That's the worst thing ever.
No, you want organic.
I've heard
Oh, sorry,
YouTube they have like a thing that can detect if you're doing that, and they'll shut your channel down if they find out.
Yep, they certainly will. They certainly will. But that just gives me more time, more time to acquire all the cool giveaway stuff. So you already know what the first one is. 10K, that's a big one. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be opening up the vault for some stuff on that one. So back to Epic Universe. So, oh my gosh, I drive by the construction site usually about like twice a week. So here we are. Epic Universe opens May 22nd. First date to keep in mind, May 22nd. So if you're looking at booking, airline tickets, booking a backup hotel, I always say this, that the backup hotel is basically if for some reason you're not able to get the hotel that you want, guess what? You already have a reservation at a hotel that is already in the area. And pretty much any hotel that is on Universal Boulevard is fair game. You're going to be within walking distance of Epic Universe. And I remember I was saying something about MegaCon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so MegaCon, I believe, is the first weekend in February. If you want a good layout of how the walking distance is to Epic Universe, book a hotel at the Stella Nova Resort. Stella Nova is open January, I think it's January 20. Let me look at my reservation. January 21st. You can walk from Stella Nova Resort to the convention center, to the Orange County Convention Center.
Mm.
You can literally walk there.
That green trolley, the International Drive free green trolley, don't you think they'll most likely have a line dedicated to dropping people off at Epic?
I think it's going to be a stop. If it's not right in front of the hotels, in front of like Stella Nova and Terra Luna, they're right there next to each other, and there's a road that goes between the two of them. If there isn't a stop right there in front of it, there's definitely one that's across the street, because there is a shopping center that is also across the street from there. So that'll be something to really keep an eye on.
Was it Beth's? Have you ever been to Beth's Burger Bar? They're at the Publix shopping center.
No.
It's supposed to be the number one burger place. I went there for the first time the other day, and my wife and I had it very, very good. And I was thinking, my gosh, they probably did not know when they first opened up how great of a location that they would have in a few years. But it's right there in that Publix shopping center, right across from the big, whatever that resort is. I can't think of it.
Vista K, and it's also across the street from UCF's Rosen College of Hospitality.
The Rosen, yeah, the Rosen, big Rosen Hotel. So that one, yeah, and it's like so many businesses along there are going to benefit from Epic Universe. It's incredible. Epic is doing something that Disney did the opposite of, and I understand why Disney did it at the time. When Walt Disney World first opened, Walt's idea was he didn't want other businesses popping up along him, but this is the opposite. The other businesses are already there, and Epic is going in and will help all of them out. I think it's going to really necessarily revitalize International Drive and that whole area in a way that they tried to do when they first in the eye, but it didn't quite, do it as much as they wanted to. And then, of course, there was a tragedy a few years ago. But now, with Epic coming in there, that whole International Drive area, and then everything from there to Universal is just going to boom.
Exactly, because International Drive, I mean, that again, that's a tourist trap, but attendance have been dropping so much year after year. With Epic Universe being right there within walking distance, you're right, Ron. A lot of these businesses are just going to blow up. There's a couple of like mom and pop businesses across the street from Stella Nova and Terra Luna, literally right there. I think like one's a cupcake shop. I think one is like a bistro. All of these little, these little tiny shops that no one really know about. Now, all of a sudden, they are going to have a huge customer base that's like, oh, let me go across the street and go and check this out. Or, hey, I can go on foot and walk up to Icon Park. That's the other one where the Orlando Eye is. Either walk there or take the green trolley that goes up and down International Drive. I need to look into
Gonna
that because I don't.
reignite International Drive.
100% huge way. And like I said, if you don't get reservations at Stella Nova or Terra Luna, there's a bunch of hotels literally right there. Hilton hotels. What are some of the other ones?
I should probably take a Wonderworks up on their $22 offer right now.
I think so. There's so many. There's like Hilton boutique hotels. There's of all price ranges, and it's amazing how it's going to happen. So I know where does Southern Hobbit go? Hey, girl. It says, when do they open the new hotels for reservations? Well, Stella Nova. Let me go down here. Stella Nova and Terra Luna are already open for reservations. Like I have one at Stella Nova that opens the end of January. Terra Luna opens the end of February. As for Helios, which is the one that I need a reservation at this hotel so freaking bad, I believe this is going to open for reservations October 22nd, if I'm reading things. Like. Yeah, because right now, if you go to Lowe's, if you go to the Lowe's website, it'll bring up Helios, but not available to book. The same thing happened with Stella Nova and Terra Luna. I had to keep refreshing the page. I had to keep stalking the site like every day, and then eventually, I forget which date it was, they opened up reservations. So I would say you can stalk Universal's page or actually Lowe's Hotels page in general. They're both linked. So stalk their page. So yeah, October 22nd. That is what you want to have circled on your calendar. So let me see. Where is it? Okay. So let's see, opens May 22nd. Select multi-day tickets and packages will go on sale October 22nd. This is why I say Helios will be open to book, because they're part of the multi-day tickets and packages and all of that. So that's what you want to look for. That's your first vector. I would say if you're not signed up for a Universal's mailing list or you're not following Universal Orlando on X, you need to do both to stay informed.
My emails get buried so quickly. I have to dig or do a search because I can never see them at the top, the Universal ones.
Mm-hmm. I have to do a rule to star stuff whenever anything comes in from Universal, but yeah, like both that but mainly definitely checking X. Let's see. Go and Shoki says May 22nd. Isn't that towards the end of Disney quarterly earnings? And CJ answered, yeah. Theirs is in March. They'll report their earnings in March, but also remember, even earlier than that, their earnings call is going to be happening in November, I think, for Q1, for their fiscal Q1. Going to be happening. That's going to be very interesting. And I'm wondering if any of these well, I think I know who will ask. Usually these institutional investors, when they get on these Disney earnings calls, throw very softball questions. So the only people who will throw hardball questions are people who have been there long enough that they're not very tolerant of Iger's BS and they just don't give a crap. Or there'll be one who I guess is so green, or not green, but I guess he must be really, really on the ball, because I don't know how they let this guy answer questions. But he's usually last, and he will come up with these really good questions. Like, how come none of you guys ask the same questions? So that Q1 earnings call is going to be real, real testy. I know Valiant has a stream set up for that. So hopefully I can wake up early enough and
will Iger be asked, but haven't you been in charge of the border for the last 3.5 years?
It's too funny.
Wait, just imagine Iger answering a question. So, to all my stockholders out there, I was raised in a middle-class family.
Yeah, and now it's not affordable for them to go. So how are you going to address that? Well, we do know some stress. Yeah. Groceries are up like what, 30%? Yeah, that's weighed in some freaking stress, Not even funny. Mamasaurus Rex says, wow, that's great engineering. Lots of people going to the convention center will be staying there. Yes, absolutely. When I first found out when I first found out where hold on a second, I want to share this better because I don't like sharing the entire screen. I like sharing the tab. When I first found out about Epic Universe, because I was driving by the construction site for months before I knew what the heck it was. Here's International Drive, right? Here's International Drive, like right here. And where is... You drive it so long, you start to forget exactly where it is. Okay, there's Sand Lake. There's Universal Boulevard.
Okay,
there's Lockheed Martin. Okay. So all of this area over here, basically, is Epic Universe. So you're going here, okay, so here is the Orange County Convention Center. Right here. And that's kind of like, here's the Orange County Convention Center, right here. Okay. Existing right now, there's a Chick-fil-A. This is literally this is like my jump off point when I'm out there doing research before I do videos and stuff, because the Chick-fil-A is right outside of Epic Universe. Okay, so there's a Chick-fil-A. Terra Luna and Stella Nova resorts are right here. And again, here's the convention center. And here we go. See? Convention center right here. Go down Universal Boulevard. There's Stella Nova Resort. Terra Luna is right across. And if you look down the street between the two of them, you can see Donkey Kong Country. And Mount Beanpole. Yeah. I saw that. I'm just like, that is perfect. The Orange County Convention Center is literally booked out years in advance if you want to hold an event there. They have no problem booking that. And you think all of those people who want to extend their trip, who do not want to go through the hassle of riding down to Disney, guess what? We can just walk across the street, go to Epic Universe. We want to go to Universal. Guess what? We just take the bus on up
genius
there.
Of Universal to do that.
Absolutely freaking genius.
Intentionally, or is it just like an added bonus? Like, oh, you know what?
Oh no, this I believe this was intentional, especially given Disney, because Disney, like Ron was saying, Disney, the way that they did it's kind of like, we're going to make this bubble and we're going to keep everything in the bubble. Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of other traditional tourist areas kind of missed out on that. So most people are going down to the Disney bubble. No one's really stopping to stay around International Drive unless they're staying for an extended period of time, right, or because the hotels are closer there. But usually people try to stay closer to Disney. Usually International Drive area is a rest stop on the way to Disney, or you're at the convention center. That's about it. But when you drop a theme park literally in the middle of this densely populated area of tourist trap stuff, and this is prime land that Lockheed Martin had, and they sold it, a good amount of that land, to Epic Universe. And I think Pro said there's a rumor that they have an option to buy the rest of this from Lockheed Martin Missile and Fire Control, because I would not be surprised if they leave that area, because they have a much, much bigger plant up by UCF.
Yeah, I don't see any reason for Lockheed Martin to stay in that area for much longer, especially with the traffic that they already have to redirect when people accidentally come into their complex. And I don't know if you've ever done it, but if you drive into the complex, you can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't. I mean, they'll like, if you try to go, they'll be like, no, unless you work there or whatever. But they will redirect you out, which is no big deal. But there's going to be a lot more traffic that does that now, and they're not going to like it. They're probably going to shut that down within a couple of years. The other thing that I'm thinking that this is going to do is a lot of the touristy stuff that's still trying to survive on 192, which was the other strip area, at least the part that's south of Disney. The part that's north or adjacent to Disney Animal Kingdom area might still be fine, but that 192 where the orange, the citrus store is, and the big giant Merlin and all that kind of stuff, I think this could be the final nail in the coffin of that area, which is up by Celebration. I mean, there's still Old Town and what is it, Fun Stop? Is that what it's called? I forget that.
The Fun Spot, but the Fun Spot has another location that's right in the iDrive corridor. So yeah, I agree with you.
The fun spot in the iDrive corridor, their big swing thing, that's the one that physical apparatus is the one that I did the commercial for in the year 2000, because that physical apparatus was at the MGM Grand Adventures theme park in Las Vegas. I was the Sky Screamer guy for that commercial. And that's what you see on the beginning of my show. That's me, like in the Sky Screamer. That's the commercial. And then it shut down in 2002, and Fun Spot America, the one on International Drive, they bought that and it's moved out here now. So that's actually the same. Like, it's really weird for me, because I used to I used to work at the Stratosphere Hotel, and I would look out at the Stratosphere, watch my commercial going at the MGM, which is way down the strip, and see the thing. And now it's like, oh my gosh, I'm here in Orlando, and it's like wherever I go, I can't get away from it. It's so weird.
The Fun Spot is literally like, I'll say a step above when the carnival comes into town, but you can get your buddies where they. I'm not exaggerating, right, Erica?
No, honestly, it's a fun date spot, especially for young adults and teenagers. That was one of the places we hung out in high school. We would trek across I-4 and go to Old Town, and that was like one of our main places to hang out on weekends. Like,
well, back then, did they still have the water park there?
We did the sky thing too. That was on a dare, and I'll never do it again.
Was the water park there back then? They've torn down since then?
It was a wet Wild? Is that what
No, not Wet and Wild. There was a different water park at the end of 192, and I can't remember what it was. But there's a lot of things that closed down over the years.
Shoot.
There's a big resort that closed down.
I mean,
right
back
across from
then,
Silver.
I think there would have been, but we always just focus on Old Town. We go to the car show, grab something to eat.
Old
And then when
Town's
they
still
built
fun.
that, it is.
Yeah,
It's an
Old Town's fun.
It's a
Yeah.
The go-karts are
25-cent Pepsis. Do you remember that?
Oh, wow.
You get a little small bottle of Pepsi for 25 cents, and then you have a nickel for like the deposit if you wanted to keep the bottle.
Yeah. I do remember that.
That was like so much fun. I don't know if they still do that or not. It's been a while since.
I don't know if they do, but I know that go-kart. That route is that's pretty darn cool. I'm like, oh, that definitely beats the darn Speedway at Disney World. It's way better than the Speedway at Disney World. I got
Tomorrowland Speed, and it's so weird that they're doing all these other things. And I'm thinking massive improvements to Magic Kingdom could easily be tear down and rebuild a brand new Space Mountain. Do something with the Speedway and Tomorrowland just needs love. Tron didn't really help that much. Tomorrowland needs some serious love. How about update Carousel of Progress so that the room that's supposed to be the future is actually in the future and not in the past?
Bruh.
I don't think
the heads up thing wasn't even working.
I think it's kind of hard for them to predict how the future will look like, especially for this Imagineering. They seem to have no imagination.
None.
Well, I mean, they could put in there won't be a single straight or non-transgender character in the family at that point.
Oh Lord!
Don't give them any ideas.
No. But to get us back on track here with Epic Universe, so coming here from Blog Mickey, initial ticket options will not require park reservations for Epic Universe. Guests with tickets are guaranteed park access. I can't tell you how much I love the fact that you do not need a freaking reservation to get into Universal. During the pandemic, because I moved down here at the tail end of the pandemic, the only restriction for Universal Orlando's parks, it was a capacity restriction. And then the capacity was if you were a day guest and the park was at capacity, they wouldn't let you in. However, if you were either a premier, the top 2 tiers of annual pass holders, or you were a hotel guest, regardless of level of hotel that you were at, and I was staying, I think, at Cabana Bay, you were allowed to get into the park, even if it was a capacity. That was the only thing. There were no reservations. I love the fact that you didn't need a reservation to go. You could just pick up and go. The exact way that it used to be at the Disney parks back in the day. If there were too many people, they did a staged shutdown. Like you see signs saying Magic Kingdom is full. And you couldn't get in, but no reservations for Epic Universe. So this is absolutely fabulous. The picture that you see right there, I believe that was taken by BioReconstruct. Definitely follow him over there on X. He's been doing these pictures and flybys ever since construction started. This is a shot. This is a real shot, not the model, although the model looks really, really close. You want to talk about concept art and reality? This looks a lot like the concept art. So when you walk in there, in this portal, the Chronos on the top, that is actually a kinetic thing that actually has lightning that happens at the same time. This portal.
They set a high precedent concept art. Now Disney has no excuse to release concept art and not deliver on it.
None.
One of the interesting things about the portal to, what is it called? Celestial Park?
Mm-hmm. Celestial Park, yes. That's it right here.
Celestial Park, and that's the entrance to Epic Universe. That bears similarity to the tower that they built at Disney built at the World's Fair for, I think it might have been Carousel of Progress or Small World. I can't remember. It might have been Small World. but they built a tower. They didn't move the tower to Disneyland when they moved the ride over there, but it was like this tower that had moving parts on it, and you know, with the wind and stuff. It was like a big and it bears some similar elements to that, which is honestly really cool, that they're basically taking what was really awesome old school Disney Imagineering and they're applying it to this park. And I see a lot of that all over this park. I see things that Disney Imagineering used to do that they no longer do, and it's very much elementally in Epic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell people, and I'm going to keep repeating this because it's so true. When you walk through this Chronos, I mean, I'm looking at this. When I see this, I think of, granted, at Magic Kingdom, they have two of these, like two entrances that you go in, and your field of vision is purposely restricted so that when you show up on Main Street USA, it's this huge reveal. And you're looking straight down Main Street USA, and what do you see? Cinderella's castle. Here, you walk in, you're in Celestial Park, and what do you see at the end of Celestial Park? You see that big, huge, gorgeous Helios Hotel, which, I kid you not, looks like a little bit like the Disneyland Hotel at Tokyo Disney.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
I'm like, I know I'm not seeing things.
I think it's very cool that you have what's going to be a park icon, weenie, whatever you call it, but that icon of the park is also a place that you can stay. I mean,
see, look at that. You look right through there, and there freaking is.
Beautiful. This is going to be gorgeous.
Oh my gosh, it is absolutely beautiful. The world you can't see right away, just like when you're at the Magic Kingdom, you can't see Adventureland or Tomorrowland or Liberty Square right away. You have to venture through the park. There's pathways to get there. And here's the same thing that's happening over here with Epic Universe. It's just,
I love how there's just so many different spots to just stop and just take it in, you know, and just bask in the theming and all the water features. It's just so pretty the way it's just combined. And it's sad when you compare that to Disney. I kind of went on a tangent earlier today. I was watching some vlogger that I've never seen before, and they were kind of going on defending Disney's decision to on Sawyer Island. Kind of went off a little bit, and I told Raph, I was like, you know, they're just reducing themselves like Cedar Point or Six Flags, where you're not a theme park anymore, you're just an amusement park, and it's just a slab of cement with attractions. Or people who are older are gonna go to just take it in and relax. You know, Universe is gonna have these areas, water and trees and gardens.
Dragons.
I hope what they've done, and I think I see this in some of the art, but I hope that they put seating around the entire park. One of the complaints about Epcot's supposed to be the most futuristic, not anymore, but anyway, that's what it was supposed to be, park. And everybody used to complain there's not enough seating, blah, blah, blah. So then they put all of the seating area in, but they put it all in one spot where it's nowhere near even a food kiosk. And there's nothing to see. It's like when you go to that particular area and you sit down, okay, great. Now there's seating, except it's outdoors. It's supposedly shaded by trees. And if you
the trees aren't mature enough yet.
But even when they are, if you understand how Florida heat works, that doesn't do jack squat.
No.
Okay, you have to be indoors.
A lot of foliage for it to work.
Let me tell you how much I want to sit in 100-degree heat with 100-degree humidity under some tree, charging my phone that on a charger that goes really slow, by the way, because thousands of other people are there. No fountain, nothing to look at in that particular. I mean, that's people ask why I have problems with Epcot is because the way they did that center area, there's not even anything to look at. They didn't even put a fountain in there. If at least you would have had kind of a small version of the Fountain of Nations or any kind of a water feature in the center, that would help.
Yeah,
like
that was exactly my point earlier. I was, talking to Raph, I was like, that's exactly what I was pointing out too, is at least when Tom Sawyer Island being there, you have a place to go and just kind of chill and relax and you have something to look at that's scenic. You're not just staring at the floor at the cement because there's nothing else to and you get that at Cedar Point, Six Flags, but this is a theme park. You're not supposed to be an amusement park where it's about the attractions. A theme park goes beyond just the attractions, just riding rides and getting thrills. It's multifaceted. You're supposed to be hitting all of the 4 quadrants of your audience, from the public, just using some verbiage from like Culture and all the other guys, in our little fam network. And I told Raph, I'm like, we're not getting any younger. The way we theme park is changing. We used to be all about the rides, but we were slowing down, and a lot of it's just aging and medical stuff that's come up based on aging. And I like to slow down now,
But even
this
so,
reminds me.
I was just going to say, Disney's always been, in the past, Disney's always been about theming. I was at Animal Kingdom yesterday. Animal Kingdom is just that. I don't think anybody can argue that Animal Kingdom is not the best themed of the 4 parks. Even if it's not your favorite, if it's not the best, it's like this. Magic Kingdom is most people's favorite. I get it, but Animal Kingdom is the best themed. When you go to Africa,
that's
you
my
go to
second
Asia,
favorite park.
And it's just, you are so immersed, even to the point where the Yeti temple statue, like a small thing, literally lines up perfectly with Expedition Everest when you look at it from. It's like, there's so much, and people don't understand in that theming. That's where the magic used to always be with Disney, and it's
very layered.
100%. You walk through, and it's just like, I can't believe I'm in Orlando because I feel like I'm somewhere in Asia. Even the broken pavement, the pavement isn't even. It's kind of broken, and with the way that the buildings are aged and all and all of that, they understood the immersion. And going back to what Erica was saying and what Ron was saying about places to sit and places to rest, if you watch the fly through of Epic Universe, you'll see some of the little animated people sitting on benches, looking at the statues and everything that are around. And when I look at this, I think of what Walt Disney was thinking when he visited Tivoli Park, which I believe that's the name of it. And I'm like, something just tells me there's something from that park that's put in here in the design in Epic Universe, because you look at it and it's like future past, That, oh my gosh, that carousel! I cannot wait. I cannot
They got
wait.
that carousel, and they've got the water fountain there, and it's just a gorgeous place to sit. And if your kids or grandkids want to go on the ride and you don't, look how much there is just to look at. If you don't even want to go on that attraction, you don't have to. Send your kids or the rest of your party, but at least when you're sitting back, you can just sit back and have a coffee or an ice cold beverage and just. You know what I mean? And you got all this art. It's art. I'm sorry, but it's
so true. It is. It's beautiful. It's artistic. It reminds you of, I want to say, let's put it this way. I remember when the Renaissance, they were knocking art out of the park. That's exactly what this looks like when I see this. So got some questions up here, and 40 of you folks in here, thank you so very much. Avers Carmageddon says, what are the multi-ticket days rule and the 1 day at Epic Universe? How about Express Pass for Helios? No news on the Express Pass for Helios. From what I'm hearing, Helios will not be included in the Express Pass deal. So if you go on Universal's website, it'll say the Express Pass is for select signature resorts. So while Helios is a signature resort, they're only having the Express Pass for the established signature resorts, Portofino, Hard Rock Cafe, Hard Rock Hotel, Royal Pacific, and Sapphire Falls.
Even then, it's only to Universal and Islands of Adventure.
Correct.
Yeah. Correct. And I don't think it would probably not be wise to offer any type of line skipping.
I agree.
Park in the beginning, like for the first year or maybe 2 years, or I don't know what the time period will be. I mean, eventually I'm sure they'll introduce it. But the popularity of the park when it first opens, I think, especially with I got a son who's chomping at the bit to go to Nintendo Land. And the nice thing is there's something for everybody. I think the way that they're doing their Monsters Land, it's giving me a Haunted Mansion vibe, except for an entire area of the park. And you can see that Disney had to respond to it by saying that they're going to build this Villains Land. By the way, something they've been saying for the last 25 years.
Well, there's been a fan base asking for that for years.
We're really going to do it now.
Yes.
Promise, we swear.
And Disney never responded to the fan base that's been wanting a Villains Land. And now they got backed into a corner by their competitor. And that's what woke you up? That's what
Really?
That's what it took for you to finally come forward and respond to, and you're not even responding to your audience. You're just responding to your competitor.
Absolutely. Because when you go every time I go into the preview center, the Epic Universe Preview Center, there are 2 photo ops that constantly have people taking pictures. The first one, of course, is Super Nintendo World, because everybody's putting the hats on and they're taking pictures in front of it. That's the first one. The other one is Dark Universe, where people are just looking and they're just like, I can't wait. I can't wait to be immersed in that gothic feel that you get when you're in the Haunted Mansion. It's like people want to experience that on a bigger scale. And it's very obvious that's what they're going to be doing with Dark Universe.
I think Dark Universe is going to be a gateway Universal coming out with potentially, and I don't know if they're doing this or not, movies, TV shows.
Oh, they are.
It's going to reignite the whole classic monsters from gold. I mean, before Golden, we're talking black and white films.
Yeah.
And there's
they were supposed to do that with the Tom Cruise Mummy movie, but it didn't quite work out. But
that didn't work.
I hope that they get it right. They still have the great thing about those monsters that are classics is you can redo them over and over again. Like strange as it may be, I love the Keanu Reeves version of Dracula.
Yes, I do. I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love that version. It's so cool. And speaking of films, yes, Blumhouse is already on it. There's the Wolfman movie that is coming out in January. Then there is going to be a reboot of The Creature from the Black Lagoon. That will be coming in time. And I guessed this too. I'm glad I guessed right. It is going to be out before Epic Universe opens. So they are already got their hands in the Monsterverse. And the fact that Blumhouse has their hands on it, it's just going to be freaking fabulous. But to answer your question about the multi-day tickets, that there isn't any hopping to Epic Universe. If you buy a multi-day ticket, only one of those days you can use at Epic Universe. I know some people are kind of upset about that, but honestly, I would much rather they restrict entry for a while on capacity so they can make sure that stuff is running the way that they need it to and running consistently. Because when stuff doesn't run consistently when it's supposed to, you get Tiana's Broccoli Adventure. That's what you get. I mean, the Hagrid's ride, that was different because, kind of complicated, but guess what? It eventually it started, it started running. It
I
was
just
running
realized
actually
that
really well and smooth.
I just got brilliant idea. If anybody from Disney's actually listening, broccoli cheese beignets. Okay, guys, broccoli
Ew,
cheese,
no,
broccoli cheese stuffed beignets.
Oh my
oh
god.
no, that's
Savory
so
beignets, guys.
nasty. That's so gross.
And if the
Oh,
cheese could somehow be brown to match the watercolor.
mhm.
It's gross. Oh my gosh.
Dance life at the Kingdom. Yes, there will, because you will have people who will have tickets. They will probably park at Universal instead of they may be parked at Epic. They may, like, say, for example, I'm a pass holder, or even if you're a multi-ticket holder, you're going to need transport from Universal Orlando out to Epic Universe. Like if I'm staying at Stella Nova Resort, okay, and I decide to go to Universal Studios for the day, I'm going to need transport back. And speaking of transport, okay, two things. One, the buses will have their own dedicated lanes to go from Universal Orlando to Epic Universe. The second thing is there is an elevated traffic circle that is flipping awesome. I'm trying to get footage of this because I've been on it in both directions, going down Sand Lake Boulevard, Sand Lake Road, and then coming down Kirkman to get onto the traffic circle. You literally go up, you're elevated, and at the top of the traffic circle, you can see into Epic Universe. And you just make a right turn, the traffic goes that way, and that's how you go to park. So I'm still getting footage of that. I finally have my setup rigging to hold my iPhone while I'm driving. So I'll have to get that for you because it looks so freaking cool. How much Comcast paid in marketing? It's a 2-part movie. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I'm a wicked normie, but something tells me if you're going to make 2 movies and the play is and the musical is only like 2 hours, why the heck do you need another movie? I don't know. Maybe because they're going by the book. That could be true. Instead of what's condensed in the musical, they may be going for what's in the book. I don't know. I'm not a wicked aficionado. Camera Girl is. That's the only reason I'm going to see this darn sucker, because I saw it in New York. I fell asleep until the dragon came out. Tell you guys a story. I fell asleep.
I'm curious to see if it's going to be popular because it's all about popular.
Popular. Yeah, it is. It's insane, the craziness that's going to go on with Wicked. Oh, you're very welcome. Going to have lots of Epic Universe tips. We had an Epic Universe planning stream a couple of weeks ago before they announced any of this information. Let's see. Can you give us your expert opinion on how long a complete track replacement should be for Big Thunder? A year is freaking preposterous. It is, because we all know that Disney, for some reason, their construction is crazy. I don't see why Big Thunder, at the most part, they should be able to complete what it is that they need to do in like 6 months. I don't see why it's a year. Universal was able to slap up but they did the Velocicoaster and open it 2 years before Tron opened. Yeah. So it makes me wonder what the heck they're doing.
A year-long refurbishment to Big Thunder makes me scared to go on it now. Like, yeah. What's going on that they're going to have to take a year?
There's also speculation that Disney could be doing it on purpose to inflate the numbers and manipulate the numbers to make Tiana look more successful than what it is, and to kind of forces the crowd, or makes the full than what it is when you have massive attraction that's operating. So there's speculation that Disney's doing things, you know, they're just being manipulative, you know.
I believe that because, first of all, Tiana's Bayou Adventure does not run consistently. Keyword is consistently. And Theme Park Casual, I saw him in the chat. Hey, their version of Tiana's Bayou Adventure is going to be open very soon. And here's my thing. I bet you that thing is going to go off like clockwork for several reasons. One, because they're right there, and Imagineering, of course, is located right there in Burbank. They do not have the Florida climate issues. So you have that part that's out. Also, they have gotten information from the epic failure of the install here at Walt Disney World to use for the Disneyland version. So I don't think that you're going to have that much of a problem. We're going to be praying for you, dude. Pray you get a virtual queue, and not only that you get a virtual queue, but that you will actually get to ride the attraction, and it won't feel like the back end of the school bus when you're riding through there because the water levels are so low. So hoping that works for you. That's the other thing. The one in Florida, okay, the water levels are lower, much lower, which gives you a much rougher ride because the animatronics and the sensors, okay, didn't take account for all of the humidity that we have here in the state of Florida. Which, man, that ride is so rough. Let me tell you, you're riding Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Sometimes you think you're actually on Big Thunder Mountain, although that's supposed to be on purpose with Big Thunder Mountain. Let's see. The mom, thank you so much for being a member for 2 months. Says what y'all have shown us is AK is the best Disney park. Well, it is definitely. It was my second. Well, it used to be my third favorite, and then Epcot went to pot. And Magic Kingdom went down. Now it's like I almost don't want to say anything about Animal Kingdom because I want it to not be on the radar, even though it is. But it is true. It feels good just to.
I could be wrong, but it does look like they are doing some consultation with Joe Rohde, at least about the South America area.
I did see that. Yeah.
I don't think he's necessarily on in an official capacity, but I mean, he's still alive, and that's his baby. I mean, AK is his baby, and he had a lot to do with Pandora. And by the way, I think Pandora, the Land of Avatar is way better themed than Galaxy's Edge.
You got that right. I didn't even watch the darn Avatar movies until recently, and I was like, this is pretty freaking cool. But also what I think is just like with Tony Baxter on the Tiana's Broccoli Adventure thing, I think they have Joe Rohde on a contractor basis, which means if he's on a contractor basis, that means he signed an NDA.
Yeah.
So they just tell him as needed, really. And it's for, I kind of been getting the impression from folks that it's just for PR.
Yes.
Are they really using him, or is it or is it for optics?
It's
optics. It's optics. Because they basically forced him into.
They forced him out.
They forced him out of Disney, and now
one of the things he was doing the other day was taking pictures of what's it called? Dinosaur. Restaurantosaurus. Because the theming, if you've ever been in Restaurantosaurus, the theming is, oh my gosh, it's so on point for dinosaurs. It's so gorgeous in there. And it's not a very popular restaurant because they don't sell popular food items in there, but the theming is amazing. And the structures, I believe, will all stay. According to the artwork that I've seen, all those structures are just going to be repurposed. So it'll be some Encanto themed restaurant or something else, like that. And It's like where
I'm sorry, I was thinking
Really?
iPads.
where are all those where are all those theming elements that are in Restaurantosaurus going to end up? Maybe hopefully some of them will end up in Lakeland at the store there. I don't know, but I mean there's some really cool dinosaur stuff in there. Just like there is in the dinosaur ride, which that stuff they'll just sell to Universal and they'll use in Jurassic Park.
Or even the gift shop that's there that I love. You go in there
With the
and
train.
it's with the trains and all the stuff in there is just insane. But I believe that with Joe Rody and working with the changes to Animal Kingdom, I think he still got that NDA gag order slapped on him, and it's purely for optics. Because, like you said, Ron, Animal Kingdom is his baby. Animal Kingdom, that was a new park no one had ever seen before. I think the tagline was "Not a zoo." Remember, Stacy was saying it's not a zoo, and no one really knew what it was. And then you got there, and it was just like, this is freaking incredible. It's like nowhere else. So
Just
I'm
the
not
research.
surprised they roped him back.
The amount of research that went into the theming for Africa and the theming for Asia, they did extensive research so that when you are in the queue for Expedition Everest,
I love that queue line.
feel like you are
Great.
I mean, like oh, the little.
I'm not a fan of
Where's my
I love
Sherpa?
the queue line.
You know the little stairway. It's not a stairway. The ladder that goes up to the sleeping quarters that they have. I mean, it's just a queue, right? But like you are so immersed that there is something to see at every single.
They bring in all
the
these fun of like the legend, the folklore of was it the Yeti?
The Yeti, yeah.
And like is there any mention there of Bigfoot? I don't think there is. I could
Not
be
Bigfoot, but they, no, I think they did. I think there's like an article that's somewhere in there in the queue. It's hidden, but I think Bigfoot's only mention was like this article with like.
But I like how they bring articles and it's old, and I have to wonder if they're real old newspaper clippings they were able to preserve and like actual put them around.
It's so well themed that if you know this, there's poop in the queue. Like no,
that I didn't
like,
know.
No, like there are these are the droppings of such things like Yeti and like that's I mean it's in the queue. It's so interesting though when you get to that last part and you're in I think the Himalayan like the snow area where you're about to get your stuff on, and then there's that one little clip from a 1976 newspaper, and it talks about the Disco Yeti. No, just kidding. That's not true.
Oh, that's funny. You should mention that, dude. One more thing I'm going to mention about Animal Kingdom, especially over Expedition Everest. Remember, they had like this little shrine, and it used to be, I think it was right before you went in the queue, and everyone would like throw money in there. Well, they've actually wound up moving that outside. To like where you like the thing where it shows like the replica of the Himalaya mountains, like it'll show like where the K2 and all that. I'm like, well, why did they move that out there? I don't know. I guess it was slowing down the line somewhere or another. But I guess that was like a traditional thing. You had to go through the line and you had to go and throw money, like when you throw money in the water at It's a Small World. That was like the same thing when you would go into Expedition Everest. Going Shogi, thank you for that $4.99 super chat, my dear. Thank you so very much. The Cope for Disneyland's Tiana is already starting, okay? People are claiming it's going to work better because it was always intended to be the flagship version. Pixie dust is a hell of a drug. Just tell you that. No.
It is quite the drug.
Yes,
it is.
That is, I've seen that out there a lot.
All the engineers are still laughing, like yours truly, laughing.
And in defense of some of the engineers from the older ones that were there and the newer ones that are there, at the end of the day, these guys are still being told can and can't do, and they want a paycheck. They have families to feed, bills to pay, and some of them, or maybe even a lot of them, they're just kind of backed into a corner to be yes men because what else are you going to do? You know,
you're eventually
they
the
may not
one
be happy
who.
with their own work they're putting out, but that's what they're being forced to put out. I mean,
I know people who have left Imagineering for that. I mean,
oh
I
yeah.
honestly do.
But that's kind of like the situation that that you're in, and I've talked about this on pro shows too. Eventually, you're one of two kinds of engineers. You're the one who's like, I'm just going to shut up and just do my work because no one's
Yeah.
going to pay attention to me. Or you're going to be the one who basically says, okay, yeah, you can do this, but X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And I want to be on record as saying this is going to happen. So when it blows up in your face, you can't tell me we didn't see this coming. Do you
Yeah.
want to keep proving me right? Oh, we're going to do it anyway. Okay. Do you
Yeah,
want to
and
keep proving me
that's
right?
my family member that was an engineer was one of those troubleshooter engineers. So it was one of those, here are your options here are some solutions to the problems you presented me. And here are your options, and here are the consequences of each scenario. But with the understanding that the decision was out of their control, but they had to lay out some kind of, and
Yeah.
and I'd imagine it sucked, because you're coming up with solutions that even you probably don't like, but you got a job to do, you got bills to pay and a family to feed. And that's a tough thing to be in.
It's
There was instances where it was, we need this, this, and this. Go ahead, do it your way. And later down the road, it was, oh, I told you so. I tried to warn you. And now here we are back at square one, and we're having to add what you wanted to take away.
right. And this was rushed. This is what I try to explain to folks. This process was rushed. This attraction ideally was not supposed to be operational until late in the summer. And they pushed it up because they wanted it to coincide with Juneteenth. And you saw what happened. So it was very possible that there, again, you have somebody who's way above your pay grade. I've had this happen. Say, we need it by this date. You can't have it by this date. Well, we already promised this date. Okay, well, this is the only thing you're going to be able to get from that date. And I've had that happen repeatedly. You get someone who has no idea what's going on with engineering that will promise a date that engineering's like, are you freaking serious? Is that what they said? Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. WLC 555, in this current economy, no one wants to lose their job. No one else is hiring. Yeah, hiring is very, 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 very tight. But eventually, how would I put this? Eventually some people will wind up quiet quitting. And they're just like, you know what, I could fix that, but nah, I'm not going to do it. And it's really, really bad. But I love the fact that you used to work on the Liberty Bell riverboat. I had never been on the riverboat until like about a year or so ago, but I would always love to see it going around Rivers of America. It was one of those things where you're walking down, frontier land, and you hear the riverboat whistle. That is what you're used to hearing, the riverboat whistle, and seeing the riverboat go by, and everybody, wave and everything. And I love going in there now. We just did that on the last live stream, where you get on the boat, you can either hang out in the wheelhouse when it's open. I was just doing that when it's open, just to enjoy it, decompress. You see water, you see greenery. I say, if you have someone with sensory issues, or you have like some really, really restless kids and you've got to wait, I don't know how long to the next attraction, just take them on the darn riverboat or over to Tom Sawyer Island. So many people, they miss doing those attractions actively because they're so focused on the other stuff, but they are aware of the atmosphere that that brings. So
for the record, Liberty Bell is also frequently used for nursing moms. The those inside rooms.
Yeah.
You'll see that a lot.
And diaper changes, because I saw that on the last stream. I'm just like, it makes total and complete sense, but I'm not going to turn the camera over there. I totally get it.
Nope.
I totally get it. I can't tell you. It's quiet in there. Hardly many people know that it's there, and it's a nice space to get away. Yeah, exactly. It's private. I've changed a lot of diapers and what
I'm telling you, getting rid of Liberty Bell will I can't even imagine Magic Kingdom without.
I'm just so used to it being there aesthetically, alongside the haunted mansion. It just fits.
Yeah,
the two together.
It's whoever thought that they should put a Cars thing there. First of all, look, how about do Liberty Bell and take Tom Sawyer's Island? Maybe you don't. I understand why some people think that there are issues with Tom Sawyer's Island because of whatever history, whatever. I don't care about that. But keep the island. And how cool would it be if the island had secret passageways that led to the new Villain's Land? I mean, you could retheme the island, keep the island, and you could have it as so close to a haunted mansion, haunted island. I don't know. I'm just saying there are things that you could do to preserve that area and not destroy it, Disney. By the way, do we know if they ever got the paperwork fixed for whatever? I mean, they had like a 90. I
don't think that they have yet. So that's probably going to be a long, drawn out process. So we haven't heard any updates. I probably should drop in on the next SIF Todd meeting, which they are a live stream. So I should probably drop in and figure that out. But now this, I got to talk about this. I have to talk about this, and I'm going to preface this by saying Universal Orlando has always had a front of the line pass. Well, I shouldn't say front of the line. Let's say express pass. They've had one where you could walk into the park and actually buy one as a day guest if they had them available. That's the caveat, if they had them available. They also had this available at their signature resorts. So if you got a room at the signature resort, sometimes it's more economically feasible if you have, a large group with you, to just get a room at the signature resort. So you have the express pass included. And basically you just get to show your express pass and ride whatever ride you want with an express pass lane as many freaking times as you want.
And the top tier of their APs, you get the express pass to use after 4 p.m.
That's right. Thank you for that. Yes, after 4 p.m. I don't have that one, but I know exactly what you're talking about because I wanted it.
And also, and I should make a note of this, the express pass was featured in I think it was either Sharknado 2 or Sharknado 3. I can't remember which one.
Sharknado 3.
Because I was almost in them. I was so close to going out there to be an extra for that movie, and I'm like, maybe I'll meet Ian Ziering or something. I thought that'd be cool.
It was Sharknado 3. I love that because they were actually staying at the Cabana Bay Resort. So you'll see the Cabana Bay and you'll see the sharks and Sharknado coming by. It was the cheesiest freaking thing ever. But the express pass, pretty much it's a given that at Universal, it is expensive, it is limited, but you hardly ever see anyone in that express lane because they manage capacity so well. So even if you're in standby, it's not like it's a super huge deal. It's like, I just wait. It's not like you have to wait and stand by and wait for like 50 people to go by you.
I think
before they let the standby lane in.
There's another side to this, and I was going on a tangent earlier with Raph again on this, and with Universal, this is established forever. That's what the public is. And Disney had something established for many, many years that worked, and the public was accustomed to it. And Disney came in and changed it, and it created all this culture shock because the changes were so drastic.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you've got Universal, who's still doing what they've been doing forever, and we're human, we're creatures of habit. We like things that are predictable, and we really don't like change in a lot of ways. So Disney comes in and just shakes everyone's, pulls the rug from under you essentially. But then Universal still has this system that they've had forever. And it's like, it's expected. We know it's there. It's like we're kind of grandfathered into this, what they've had. And then Disney, on the other hand, what we thought was always going to be there and we got comfortable with it, then they just took it away and changed it. And I'm thinking that's part of the problem with Disney. And then there's so many changes since the pandemic. It's just been one after the other. Like they're trying to reinvent the wheel. And it's like, well, you already had a system that worked. It may have not been perfect and it had its critics, back then, but what you're doing now, you made that system look perfect.
Well, a big part of the problem, look, when I went to work for Disney, I went to work for a Disney Vacation Club in 2014. And what we always talked about, first and foremost, anybody came up and we had a chance to talk to them, we would say the Disney difference. Huge thing. And we would talk about it. It was such a big deal. The Disney difference was immaculate theming, but it was also look what all you get that's included. You get Magical Express. You get gifts delivered to your room for free. You get the Fast Pass for free. One of our incentives, one of the things we used to do for Disney Vacation Club is we could incentivize people to go on the tour by giving them extra fast passes. We would say you have 4 unlimited fast passes you can use on any attraction at any
Magic
time.
Fast Pass.
Right? Magic Fast Pass. So
we went and signed up just for a fast pass.
So, yeah, I mean, people do. A lot of people did. Hey, It was great. It worked great. But like the Disney difference, basically, when we said the Disney difference, we were saying Disney's better because of this, right? And it was so inclusive. A lot of times, you even got the dining package included for free in your package if you went the right time of year. So it was so much about, like, we can include all this magic. And I think I posted the 2015 commercial about that the other day. That, by the way, ends with the song Zippity Doo Dah. Okay.
Yes.
And I love that commercial. It's so cheesy, but it's also so what Disney was about. It was before there was the inclusion key, that was inclusion. And that included everybody under the sun. And it made you were spending a lot for a Disney vacation, but you could see the value in what you were getting for your money. And it's so funny to me that in what they're about to offer here is that, first of all, clearly they didn't want to look like they were competing with Universal directly, which they obviously are. But the second thing is they're doing the opposite. Universal saying, hey, you stay at one of our nicest locations, you're going to get this for free. Disney's going, hey, you can't get this unless you're already paying us money. We're going to suck more from you. We don't have enough of it.
Exactly. And it's unconscionable, but nothing surprises me when you've got a company whose executive board is filled with people who are not theme park people whatsoever. So this is from Braden's site at Mickey Views. High cost Lightning Lane Premier Pass announced for Walt Disney World. So basically this is, and they're rolling it out to the deluxe resorts. So guess who purchases new pass will gain one-time entry. You hear that? One-time entry to every Lightning Lane experience in a theme park for the day. Now, they do have, again, Universal has a version of this, but again, expensive, highly limited, and when they're sold out for the day, they're sold out. They're sold out for the day. So
Isn't it true that
Express
with Express Pass at Universal, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you can use it an unlimited amount of times on the attraction. Like if you just wanted to use it for, say, Transformers, couldn't you do that?
There's two different tiers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. There's two. There's the one, and the reason that I know is because when I had to buy them, I'm just like, no, we're just paying for the one entry because it was so expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like Express Pass, and then there's unlimited, right?
Express Unlimited. Yeah. So there's two. So there's two tiers. There's two tiers that they have for that. So for this, starting October 30th, Disney will begin making limited quantities. I doubt that because we all know Disney likes to oversell every single chance they get of these passes available for guests to purchase. So to start, Disney will be piloting the service with guests staying at the Disney Deluxe Resorts, Disney Deluxe Villa Resorts, and other select hotels. So these are the ones that they're talking about. Of course, you all know the regular Disney Deluxe hotels over there, the Deluxe Villa Resorts that are over there, pretty much that's DVC. And the other eligible hotels, I find it interesting that the Hilton in Disney Springs is not included because the Disney Hilton, they actually have access to extra magic hours. But apparently they've got the Swan, the Dolphin, the Swan Reserves, and Shades of Green Resort. This is just me personally, but I think Shades of Green Resort, they should get that complimentary. That should be gratis for military members. That should be like,
they still want to make their money even off us military people.
Exactly. I would not have a problem. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have a problem if they were just like, okay, offer this to military families that are staying at like Shades of Green. Like you made that a military perk. I don't think hardly anybody would complain about that. At all. But this is what they're doing right now. They're saying that it's with the deluxe resorts. And at launch, prices will range from $129 to $449 per pass plus tax. So let's hypothesize over here for a little bit, because this is what I do. It's a theme park commando. This is what I do. Every time you go to check out the hotels at Walt Disney World, they will pop up the most expensive ones up front. They do not populate it with the cheap ones. So let's see. We'll just look at my favorite here, which is the Polynesian Village, which I used to stay here back in the day when it was pricey, but it wasn't crazy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's a little out there, but I get my money's worth. So, unavailable for the, okay. All right. So let me change this here. I like doing this stuff live. Ooh, let's go crazy. Let's say December 15th to 22nd. Let's add 2 Rugrats in here. Of course, they make you say which age they are. So we'll say one is 10 and we'll say one is 5. Because if they're younger than 3, you get them in there for free. So I'm just saying. Okay, so this is theme park. This is theme. Can I just tell you, I got upgraded gratis to club level at the Polynesian at one time. Water view. Okay, I never paid this much. I went during the same time. I want to say, yeah, it was like a decade ago. You know how much I paid per night for a theme park view?
I don't know, $300.
Like $600.
$16.
That's $600.
What the price is now?
That it was pricey, but it was like, hey, this is a Christmas gift. So we saved for like over a year, and it was manageable because, you actually had more perks to what was going on. So we already knew we were going to have to pay a premium for it. But that was $600 around the same time period. And also the time back, remember when if you reserved a trip and the price went up like the next day or so, so long as you checked in the date before the price increase, you got that cheaper rate for the entire length of stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got rid of that perk. So when I went, they
Right.
kept that perk. So that's what happened. But imagine doing this.
Where is the concierge or the club? Where is that located in the Polynesian Resort?
That is located in the Hawaii building. So when you look at the Polynesian Resort, like say from the Magic Kingdom, you're looking dead on at the Polynesian Resort. Okay. There's the boat dock where the boat comes, where the boat is. And then right there, that beach area across the front, right where all the shacks in the water are now, that's the Hawaii building. So if you look at the Hawaii building, there's like a 2-story club level that's there. I've been there. The views are freaking awesome. They're replicating that 2-level club view in the DVC Howard Johnson's that they put there behind the Polynesian. Yeah. That's exactly what they're doing with it. They're replicating the view, which looks great from when you're standing, but looks like crap from everywhere else. And it wasn't always that way. When the shacks on the water were gone, you just saw that gorgeous longhouse and this gorgeous 2-story, observatory, which looked cool and it blended in with everything. But no, not now. But yeah, so if you want, let's say we're going with the water view, right? Because the resort view, that's the cheap one. That's freaking gone, obviously. So if this is $1,179 a night before taxes, okay, and you have a family of 4, and say you want this express pass for the Magic Kingdom, and we'll just say it's priced at $400 per person per day, you are talking an extra $1,600 on top of the price of this room per night. Okay?
Per person.
Per person.
It's
per person for a night, but I'm gonna try not to call myself a liar. So let's see. Holy, you guys see what I'm seeing here, right?
Oh, I didn't even. 11,100. 7-day ticket with admission to 1 park per day. That's not even park hopper. So we got 2 kids and 2 adults. But you're paying for 3 adult tickets,
right?
Because it's 10 years old, and 1 child ticket.
Ooh.
Yep.
Plus $1,600 a day for 7 days. Ooh.
And that's not including any lightning lane add-ons of any tier.
This is just the base price. You haven't even had a chance to eat yet. Okay.
Nope.
11,000. Okay, the last time I stayed at the Polynesian, where I did the Do It Big trip, and I had like my nieces and nephews and Camera Girl and all the Rugrats, we got free dining. Okay, back when all the stuff was included. I think I paid a grand total of $5,000 for a week.
Wow.
With everything included. Again, free dining. Okay, we got free dining.
I can't get over how much more expensive it's gotten just since June of 2023. Last time we actually went at a resort and did a quote vacation at Disney. And that was with the annual pass holder discount per night. I think it came out to about $300 something a night with the discount. There was no dining plan, so which we were kind of okay with, because being in Europe and going back to the US, we weren't necessarily locked into wanting to eat theme park food. We also wanted to get our American fix. So we were okay eating off property, eating what we don't get here. Rental car and And then we did do Genie Plus once just because I was curious. And we really didn't even need it back then. For just most of the attractions, and it felt like a way. And that back then it was only like what, 15 to maybe $25 a day per person.
Mm-hmm.
This is just nuts. I mean, this is at the Contemporary, by the way.
It is.
That's crazy.
Again,
and this is for 7 days. 7
this
day,
is for,
and we stayed for 5 days.
Yeah,
We did a 5-day stay, and I think in total was just under $4,000. It was like in the threes, and that was just for. But there again, to pay extra for park tickets. We had annual passes.
Okay, so I just did a little fun comparison on my phone. This is Viking river cruises down the Rhine River, Amsterdam to Basel, for 10 days. Okay, 4 countries, 8 tours, $2,400 per person. So for less money, $2,400 per person is less than $10,000 for the trip. Okay, so
and
for
then airline
less
tickets.
money, you got to get some airline tickets, but but
I didn't factor that in.
Again, so do these people. We got to get airline tickets, but less than $10,000 for a trip for 4 on a Viking river cruise, food included, tours, all that kind of stuff, because they package that all together. And you're looking at, I mean, where are you going to spend your money? Like, do I want to go to a theme park and have some fake experiences, or I'm like, for that much money? I'm just saying, for that much money. I'm talking about value for value.
Yeah.
There are so many, like, I'm looking at just the other theme parks in the United States that people can go to. Dollywood, great park, but also Silver Dollar City just announced that I think by the year 2026 they're going to have an on-site resort, which will be
$500 million investment.
Or come visit some theme parks in Europe, where
exactly,
and you're $45, $50 after the conversion rate. Maybe bucks.
But you know who they're going for with this? It's not us plebes really here in America. They're trying to get those foreign tourists to come over here. And there's a big foreign tourist base. That is part of the economic model at Walt Disney World. You've got the people visiting, the whales visiting from the Northeast. Used to be like just the middle class families that were coming from the Northeast. They priced them out. Then you have the folks who are coming from overseas. They're coming from Brazil. They're coming from Europe. They're coming from Japan to visit. And they're betting on a lot of FOMO with this. Like, oh, we don't want to get over there and then we can't do anything. So we want to guarantee. And Go and Shogi is right. So if you extrapolate this with Premier Pass every single day of your trip at the upper end. And I always tell people, when you're doing your budget, always calculate with the upper end and then add a 20% pad onto that to see how much it can shift from one to the other. I'm just a control freak like that. I like to know. It's like, what's the worst that could happen? You got extra money that you saved for your trip that you didn't flip and use. But that is ridiculous.
Well, my question here, because most people finance vacations. So is this an option that can be financed, or is it something that has to be purchased when you get to the park the day to make that decision right there, then and there in the morning? Or can it be purchased in advance?
It can be up to 7 days in advance, from what I understand. So 7 days in advance is the earliest that you can pay for it. And if you're doing a package like this, your package is paid for within, I think it's 45 days before you arrive. Is it 30 days now? I'm trying to remember.
When we booked, it was 30 days.
When it's 30 days, okay. I think it was 30, because I had moved away from the packages to doing stuff a la carte.
Yeah.
So if I did get a package, it was like, okay, we're just buying a 1-day ticket, but we just got the room and other stuff. But Disney already will have your money, all of this. They will have it before you get there, and then within those 7 days, if you're like, oh, okay, I want to add this Premier Pass thing on, then you're allowed to add it within.
And you're not even getting the Premier experience that you used to get prior to the pandemic. They've taken all those perks away, and it's less and less.
We haven't talked about this yet either. Tell people which line they're actually getting in when they enter the queue and they've paid all of this extra money.
Yeah.
Do they have a special Premier Lightning Lane queue?
No, they are gonna put you all in the Lightning Lane queue. So if you think people in the standby line weren't giving you the stink eye already, when say you get up there, and this has happened on my stream before too, when we're getting there right about to get on the attraction and they say wait, and then they let 50 people through, or like the last time we were at the Haunted Mansion and the standby lane was like 90 minutes and there was this huge ass Lightning Lane, they're all going in the Lightning Lane.
Okay, so because when we went to Flight of Passage, I noticed there was this area and there was a sign that said VIP, and you could tell those were for like the Golden Oak people that live in that neighborhood, or people that were doing the VIP tours. I'm just wondering, just out there, are this third option essentially for this Premier Pass, skip the line thing, whatever you want to call it? Will that be the line that will be used? It's such limited purchase.
They're going in regular Lightning Lane with everybody else. Lightning Lane.
So there is actual going straight to the front of the line. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, you're going into that line for the Premier Pass. The only people who will get to go to quote unquote head of the line, and Erica, you already hit on this, are the ones who are in a VIP tour group. I would rather pay a huge chunk of money for a VIP tour and get my personal tour guide.
Yeah, true.
I would rather do that. And I've seen a lot more people do that than usual. I would much rather pay for that. They've got their own iPad, they've got all of that. They have a special entranceway in the back. I've seen those entranceways where they let you in and they put you in the line. They wait for you when you get out.
So that's freaking nuts. You're paying like $400 some odd dollars just to get in the lane.
Yes.
And you're not really skipping the line. You're just
it's a shorter wait. That's all it is a slightly shorter wait. Your wait. Let's say that the wait for Soarin' is 30 minutes. If you go in the Lightning Lane, maybe it's 10 minutes, but it's still going to be a wait. The worst part of this
Premier Pass, you're supposed to jump even that and go basically walk on.
But it doesn't work that way. You still go in the Lightning Lane. You still go in the same lane as everybody else that bought the cheaper Lightning Lane.
But what the same hell is the one and all that? Oh my gosh.
There isn't any Universal. It's the same thing. You go in the same lane for Express, but
you get to the front, you get to the boarding area where they board you on, you get there quick.
You get there, you're right. You get there very quick because there's hardly anybody in that line, and they restrict capacity and they make it really relatively expensive for a reason. So that when they are bringing people in, it's not like 50 people. There may be like maybe 10 people or so. Sometimes there's nobody because of that. And it's just ridiculous. But one thing I want to wrap up with, because someone had brought this up, because I really do want to bring this up. Who was it said about the value resorts? Yes. So let me show you this, because I think I tried this.
Yeah, aren't they like in the $200 a night? Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Are you
All-Star,
serious?
first of all, I would not stay here That is literally what we call ghetto Disney. We do not stay at the All-Star resorts. I'm just saying they put like
Just
the
will
school
stay
beach
at
and everyone over there. Yeah, it's like I
At
don't really
least they
go
have
over
the
there.
pretty tower.
Yeah, Port Orleans, but these two, I mean, Pop Century, that's like my jam. Art of Animation, these two will sell out first. People stay there because of their location. The location is very, very convenient.
Mhm.
They're
What time of
literally
year are
right
you
there
checking?
next to each other.
343.
This is Christmas. This is like December 15th.
So if Christmas for Pop Century is almost 350 a night, it's Pop
Yes.
Century. Do you know how small those rooms are?
And Art of Animation. Yes. Art of Animation is mostly suites, and they have the Little Mermaid.
Well, and they're basic suites for what they are. With I get there's some, but it's not anything that's worth that price. You could go over to the Drury over there in Disney Springs, and that's a better suite. Money, and you also get the extra magic hour perk, which it's not even a full hour, but
you can stay at the Hilton for this much and actually get a full suite.
Okay, just for the record, you can stay at the Lake Buena Vista Resort, which is the one with the pirate pool, the big yellow buildings.
Yeah, we stayed there. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
it's like 150-ish a night.
Yeah,
and it's a 2-bedroom condominium. It's huge. We spent we stayed there for my son's birthday in the past. We may stay there again because it's a great value and it's surprisingly nice. It's
it is. Well, I've got another one.
And it's a full. It's a huge full kitchen, and it's but it's what do they call the Disney friendly hotels? There's a name for that.
The Good Neighbor hotels, and it is a Good Neighbor hotel. Some of them on 192, some of them are along.
We love that hotel. It was great. We got a hot wire deal.
Boulevard. Oh, for the Drury?
No, for the Lake Buena Vista. It was years ago. I took my brother-in-law, my sister for his birthday, and we just did like 2 nights over a weekend. Did a hot wire deal where they don't tell you what hotel you're staying in, but you get it for dirt cheap. Yeah, and that's where we ended up. And the kids loved the pirate ship thing, the boat or pool, and but yeah, it was a 2-bedroom condo, and it was a nice condo. I mean, I would have gladly lived in it.
Some people
just the right size.
Everybody lives there, but they're like they are. Some of them are private ownership there. There's also a great little Irish place called Frankie Farrell's downstairs that has the literal best pretzel I've ever eaten in my entire life. It's a giant pretzel with beer cheese for like $12. So good.
Oh my gosh, this is like insane. I was gonna say Drury Inn. Well, Drury Inn and Suites, they built a new one on Hotel Plaza Boulevard, which I want to try. But there's also the Gaylord Palms that's right outside outside Disney. There's also the Caribe Royale that's there as well.
Well, Caribe, I've stayed at Caribe, and that's nice too. They have really nice suites at Caribe Royale, and they have a whole nice, beautiful complex.
I'll tell you what we do. $18
for the French quarter?
So this is what we do now. Now understand we also have family in Florida. So we've gotten to where we actually go on either VRBO, Airbnb, or Vacasa. And we will look at townhomes, condos, or single family homes that are for rent within that Disney bubble area. Now I've got a sister 15 minutes, like, I don't know, 15 minutes. Yeah, right. Not with that traffic. We try to stay more in her area because I like being close to my nieces and nephews and, together as a family. So we really stay on the other side of Champions Gate, on the other side of that exit. So we're before that exit. And I mean, $89 a night?
Wow.
For a 4-bedroom, 2-story townhome, full kitchen, full living room, 2.5 bathroom, or 3 full bathrooms, depending on the townhome you end up in. And this is at, oh gosh, what's the name of that place? Regal Palms.
Oh.
We have stayed there at least 3 times over the years. And it's become almost a go-to for us. That's the first place I check now is Regal Palms. And these are pretty decent sized townhomes and they are nice. And I no issues. I mean, and
so
I mean, I get all the perks, but I mean, what are you paying for on Disney property? They don't have enough perks for it to be worth your money, and the crowds aren't there.
I paid half as much as this.
Oh, you don't need the lightning lane and all that stuff right now. So you could just go vacation in a townhome or a privately owned home, vacation home. Have a private pool in the backyard, which is what we really liked. We've done that before. And
I did that once too.
We have access to the parks and we have access to family, you know, and we don't need there's not enough perks to stay on property anymore. You know, give me back the 3 hours.
The highest rate for Drury at the same time of the year is $268 a night with a free breakfast. And that's the one at Walt Disney World, the Drury. You know, I mean,
the thing is just this guys in the chat, when you stay in a privately owned home, a vacation home, a lot of these homes are in actual neighborhoods with residents, not just other vacationers. Really and respect residents that live there, because there's nothing more annoying than you living there and then the vacationers next door want to have a freaking and is hell to live with. So we are always very cognitive of that. So I make sure that if we have family over for dinner, we're done and we're shut it down by 9 p.m. Just out of respect for the neighbors, because they live and they're going to school and they're going to work. The kids need their sleep. Parents need their sleep. You know, we understand that. So, and it has not been an issue, you know, but we're not a party crowd either.
That's why my draconian HOA, they will not let you do Airbnb. They will not let you do VRBO, any of that for that specific reason, because we are so close and they're just like, nah, we don't
rules
know.
are usually fine print. It'll tell you on the booking, you know, no parties allowed, no this, no that. But I know people do it anyways. But it is an option and cheaper than even cheaper than some of these hotels.
Yeah, they are, depending on kind of like where you want to stay, especially if you have a large group of people. There's a bunch of vacation home rental places. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But if you go to mousesavers.net, I've been using that site for like over a freaking decade. That is literal. That's like, they collect all the coupons and, you know, and the guides and all that stuff. And they actually will drop special discount codes for you to stay at some of these hotels, not really the Disney ones, but there are other hotels that are like not as popular. Here's my favorite, the JW Marriott at Bonnet Creek. That is literally on Disney property, but those particular folks did not sell to the Walt Disney Company. So that's why the Bonnet Creek Resort is right there inside. So if you have Hilton points or stuff like that, you can stay at the Hilton resorts there. It's Club Wyndham,
you know where I want to stay? I don't know if it was a Hilton or a Marriott. It's one of the two. And it's not far from, and they have the biggest, amazing lazy river pool I have ever seen. And I would gladly pay $500 a night just to be in that pool. And they got some really swanky looking restaurants. I mean, it is nice.
I think that's the one closer to me and Lorraine of the Grand. What's the
Grand Lakes?
Grand Lakes, yeah. Grand Lakes has a huge complex with the lazy river, and then they've also got the Ritz Carlton there.
I mean, the lazy river is huge. and this thing is massive.
It
And
is gorgeous.
I'm all about a good lazy river.
Go and Shogi, thank you so much for this $1.99 super chat. Said that price didn't include travel costs. Yes.
Yeah,
What I
that's what I was
brought
saying
up
earlier.
was
It doesn't include airline tickets or
no
your rental
tickets,
car.
no
Yeah,
rental car, no food, no souvenirs,
yeah.
no
No
none
food.
no food. I'm just like, you can't charge me that, no food. But
No.
one of the places that I wanted to show you before we wrap up, the reason that this hotel is on my radar, one, because I've watched it being built and I'm like, wow, this is really, really cool. Because I've seen the Drury Inn, but they have also just built this, and it's open
feel
now.
like,
And this is on Hotel Plaza Boulevard, which is
was that a Best
location.
Western before in that location? As I feel, was that what that was?
Yeah, and they knocked it down.
Okay. I was trying to remember. Because the new one looks so beautiful. It's hard to believe that the other one was there.
Breakfast included.
Breakfast is included.
200.
What?
Yeah, breakfast included.
Question, is the good?
It's a hot breakfast.
I've stayed at some. The breakfast is like, ugh. But this doesn't look like it's one of those hotels.
No, Drury Inn, I've heard really, really good things about. I really haven't heard anything bad about the Drury Inn. I know there's some people where they're like, yeah, we don't really want to rent a house, but we want to be close to Disney property. And that's why I try to say, look at the hotels that are on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. They're not talked about as much, but there are several different ones to choose from. I have stayed at the DoubleTree, which was really nice. I actually had a suite at the DoubleTree. I think I paid like $100, I know it was a little bit less than $200. You are going to have to pay for parking because that is still technically Disney property, but it is cheaper, very easy to get your money's worth, and you are literally right there at Disney Springs. So that's like another
easy to access Disney transportation and get around.
I was trying to look up prices for the B Resort.
We always rent a car because we like them.
You know what? Go and Shogi. See, this is exactly how gangster I am with some of these trips. So when I stayed at anytime I'd stay someplace, especially when I stayed at Art of Animation, I'd get in the car, go to Publix, and get a whole bunch of food and bring it back. If I was at Universal, I didn't really go to Publix. I went to the Trader Joe's and loaded up on food from Trader Joe's and brought it back. So yeah, you can. I'm all about that.
The Publix chicken is
money
great.
for Instacart, over tip your driver, have all that food brought to your hotel. People will be freaking hating on you for real. I mean, it's a perfect hack. It's great. Hey, Farbix. And yes, Drury Inn rules. Yes, absolutely. And Fenrir Fire says they often have free pop and snacks in the lobby. Very, very nice too.
I heard that.
Yeah. So there's a way.
And you get more bang for your buck. That's what you're looking for in any Orlando vacation, is bang for your buck.
The B Resort must not be the B Resort. When I try to look it up, it's a Renaissance by Marriott, and it's like $165 a night for Christmas. There with a two just your standard 2-queen room. But here's what you have to remember: when you stay at like the Drury or the Renaissance or any of those hotels, the Hilton that are just outside, you actually get bigger rooms than you do at most of the Disney resorts, because in bubble Disney resort rooms are tiny.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time we went there in 2006 with my family at Riverside, Port Orleans Riverside, and that Port Orleans Riverside was one of the rooms that accommodated 5 guests instead of 4, because they wheeled in a little bed for our youngest, and it was. I just remember thinking, what the heck? It's well themed. Supposedly that's what you're paying for, is the theming, but it's so tiny. And I'm like, I like space. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3". I like space. I have a wide arm span. And so the bigger the room, the better for me. And that's one of the reasons I like Lake Buena Vista, is because it's a 2-bedroom condominium with the, well, maybe it was 1-bedroom condominium, but it's very large and spacious, and high ceilings and all that. And I like my space. And I just, and Pop Century's rooms are literal Cracker Jack boxes. Those things are
yeah, they are really small. Yeah, and that's the one thing I didn't like. It's like I felt like I couldn't breathe. But the reason I'm bringing up the DoubleTree is because I have stayed here. It is gorgeous. I got my Hilton points. When I checked in, I got my cookie. They had these nice like cookies that they had just made. And that's the thing with the DoubleTree, you get like free cookies and stuff like that. I literally had a 1-bedroom suite where it looked to be, I kid you not, like the size of the DVC rooms in Bay Lake Tower. Wow. It was just like, if I spoke, I could hear an echo come back to me, because it was that much room. It was not super expensive at all. And I thoroughly enjoyed my stay at the DoubleTree. And we could walk down to Disney Springs. The only reason I didn't is because it was raining like crazy that day. But the restaurants are in there. It's got Disney, not theming, but Disney promo stuff that's going in there. So it's like you're Disney, but not really. You're not getting screwed on the hotel price. But yeah, that is an alternative, and you do not need these lightning lanes at all, or express pass. Just get there to the park when it opens. Trust me, when you have less money than time, you need to plan your time wisely and
stay off property. And you're just not getting enough perks for it to warrant the cost. And you don't need lightning lanes of any sort. I mean, if you can't wait in a line for even 45 minutes, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
no, you have to do the work. You have to know where you're going, more importantly, what your family wants to do. What is your objective when you are going? If you are going to the Magic Kingdom, what are the top 3 attractions that you're going to try to get on? Usually when it was running, or Splash Mountain, Space Mountain, and like the Haunted Mansion. Literally, that's like people would scatter, and that's like where they would go. But you get there, if you're there in the park, I mean, they will let you on Main Street USA before the park officially opens. Y'all didn't know that? They just they won't, they have the ropes, so you can't go to the individual lands and everything. But if you're there, half asleep with your coffee, and they announce rope drop, okay, you guys can go in, boom, guess what? You're at the head of the line, where all the other people are still trying to figure out what the heck that they're doing. You knock out everything that you wanted to knock out, your top 3 by noon, you're good. Go to the hotel.
I'm thinking that if you, now you could either hit Fantasyland or you could hit Tron first from rope drop, because you can do that with Tron now. And you've got so many other attractions right there in the same areas between Tron. Like, let's say that you did Snow White first. And then you could easily hit Dumbo and the Teacups and Winnie the Pooh and Little Mermaid. And you could knock all of those out in the first 2 hours. Lots of attraction, and then go back and rest, and then come back in the evening for a good time. There's lots of ways to do it. I still cannot fathom how people spend 13, 14 hours just in the same park. Like, they'll do Magic Kingdom. I have friends that do that, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it, because I could
I
never
did
do
it
it.
back in the day, but that was
We
kind of
always
when
park
you
hop.
wanted to stay there that that
We always
long.
have to hop. We
See, if I'm doing
always
a
end up
long day, I can do Magic Kingdom for a long day, but at the middle of the day, I have to go over to Contemporary, and I have to like lay down and rest on the convention level. There's plenty of places to like actually lay down, and they're
And
quiet, and take
I
a little
could never
nap
do
and then go
that.
back.
I could never do that when I was younger. It's like, first of all, my family wouldn't get to the darn park until like noon. And we were basically there until like 2 a.m. I didn't even know you could go to the resort hotels because we were just at the park the whole freaking entire time. But it was different then, It's just like you kept getting, all of these perks. You could, bring, either you brought your food with you, you go to the locker, get your food, or go to your car out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And chill and then
taking it
back.
way back. It's airs and food in the
Magic Kingdom is very difficult to go all the way to your car. You have to go to the TTC first, and then Epcot's not so bad. Epcot's
in the 80s, we did it that way.
Yeah. Totally did. We're going back to the car because we got all the food in the car. Okay, with the sit in the back, you're hanging in the the back. Everybody's basically tailgating in the dark parking lot. It was weird. Yeah. I don't know why we did it, but
I don't know why we did it either. Looking back now, I'm like, why did we do that? We could have just taken the food in the park, got in the locker, put the small cooler or lunch boxes.
Yeah.
In the 80s, park food was not as good either, though. Like the park food.
No, it
a lot
was
of the
very
park food.
You got a point.
It was terrible.
You do have a point with that.
I didn't like their burgers back then. Nothing was good in the parks back then.
No, you didn't go to the park for the food back in the day.
Only the ice cream. That was really it. It was and the popcorn.
Popcorn, cotton candy.
Yeah.
Just the candy
snacks.
apples, stuff like
but
that.
Like food. Eh.
But if you guys
and it's almost getting back to that point, like almost.
I have seen families, and I'm just like, I'm not hating on y'all whatsoever. They were in the Connections eatery, but they had brought their own food into the park. And they were just getting their eat on. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, dang, that is so gangster. I gotta respect that.
Bring the whole picnic basket in, lay everything out.
Everything. They had everything there to do that with. So I was just like,
this is another thing that Disney doesn't realize, right? People aren't just going to do that. If people were able to pay maybe some less for their tickets and less for their stays, they might be more apt to buy Disney food. When I go to Epcot for the festivals, the whole point is to go around and try the little festival foods, but even that's gotten ridiculously expensive now. I mean, the little tiny little lobster tail is $13 now, and you don't get hardly anything for it.
I can't. I looked at that. I said, I can buy a lobster tail twice as big from Publix for the same amount of money. It's just it's ridiculous. And
I remember a few years ago, you probably weren't even living here yet, because I think this was the late 2010s. They started selling turkey legs at Walmart's, local Walmart's. They were $5, and they were cooked turkey legs at the Walmarts around the Disney properties.
Yes,
that was funny. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's
I did.
They didn't do it for very long, but it was funny when I first saw that. I'm like, you could buy a full size turkey leg like you get in the park at a Walmart for $5. That was hilarious, because now they're almost $20 for a turkey leg in the park. It's crazy.
Golly, it is. They were just like $8.99 or $9.99.
You could feed a whole family, because that was the thing about the turkey leg. It's like you could just get this turkey leg, pretty much feed a whole family on it. It was a great value. And you just walked around eating the turkey leg. But now it's just like, you gotta be.
You don't really see people walking around eating turkey legs.
Mm-mm.
Not anymore. Not like back in the day.
No.
You don't even smell them either. Used to that was like the smell of Frontier Liberty Square.
Oh,
That was a great,
leg.
and you don't even smell it anymore in those areas because they're just not. That's really sad because that's very nostalgic
Walmart,
for
Dole Whips,
us OGs and Disney OGs over here.
They're not like how they used to be when they had the self-service machine for the Dole Whips, and me and my sister would like load it up when they used to have the self-service, and we would get like a Dole Whip cup.
Okay, so secret on Dole Whip. You can go to Parksdale Farms in Plant City, and I know it's a bit of a drive if you're a tourist, but if you're not a tourist and driving across, or go to Park Farms and in Plant City, and they've got pineapple, strawberry, and I think like a raspberry Dole Whip, and it's Dole Whip, and you're only paying like $3 for it.
This comment here about the kids meal, they changed it to try and de-incentivize people from getting the kids meal at most of the locations now. The kids meals are $9 and they're Lunchables now.
Yeah,
they're basically tiny. A form of Lunchables. What? They
very
are
tiny.
Yeah. They are prepackaged with a plastic that you rip off the top, because you used to be able to get like you used to get a kids meal for $5.99, came with everything. It was like a turkey sandwich, and you could go to the fixings bar and top it off with all the other stuff to make it a big like adult sandwich. No, now they're actually basically Lunchables.
Yeah.
See, no, because I remember when, and I'm gonna wrap up, I promise. I remember back in the day when I did bring my nieces and nephews and Camera Girl, when they would order from the kids menu, of course they had like the standard, like, you know, your chicken nuggets and your burgers, but they would also have like some kind of restaurant specific special just for the kids, like how they would, you know, they put something like that together. But even if it was just a burger or the chicken nuggets, it was like fresh, it was nice, it looked good. You could tell that, you know, they didn't just slap something on a plate or, you know, microwave something or whatever. But yeah, now the kids meals are
let me show you. Look at this. Look.
Oh, hold on a second, let me blow this up.
Turkey sandwich.
What?
What does that say? I can't read.
Oh, I can't.
Turkey and cheddar sandwich. It's literally a Lunchable. And this snack pack costs $8, $7.79. But it's got like some cucumber slices and tomatoes. Yeah, because you know kids love that.
I took my sister left me in charge of two of the little ones, and she was like, hey, can you go and grab them some pizza? And this was at Studios. So we went over to Tower of Terror, where that marketplace, and they have the pizza thing there, and I got them the kids meals because I figured, well, I assume that's what she wanted me to get them. The pizzas were no joke the size of the palm of my hand. That's how small they were. And the yogurt was like, I'm sorry, it was like this size. If you ever seen the size of like a little Olaplex.
Oh my gosh.
Of yogurt was this size. And I was really shocked. My sister came back and I apologized. I had no idea the portion was so small. Is this what you wanted me to get them? It's not going to fill them up. They're going to be hungry. And she said, no, that's fine. They have food at home. Just needed them to have something to hold them over. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because I was sitting here like sweating it. They could have eaten an adult meal, but I was shocked at the size, because once upon a time, the individual pizzas for the kids' meals were a lot bigger than that. And but it was tiny. I was like, you could feed that's for a 2-year-old. Like that's for a toddler.
Like those Lunchable pizza things now. Like
really small.
It's just it's to the point now where I tell people, you know what, if you're going to a Disney park, just bring a collapsible cooler, rent a locker, and bring your food. What is it?
Sliced ham and cheese for $7.79, and it's a Lunchable.
I want to know who is packaging that for them, because they're the ones that are making the money.
That is not lunch.
That is that. That looks like
I don't
something
know about you.
you'd
My
see.
nieces and nephews can eat. They are not
Yeah.
shy when it comes to eating. Those kids will just go like savages in the snack cupboard. And they will food.
Now I can tell you what I did as an adult the other day because I can't eat codfish. I'm allergic to codfish. So I was at Sleepy Hollow and I wanted to get the thing that they have, the fried fish and chicken nuggets and everything. Anyway, so I realized that I couldn't order that, and they can't. I asked them if they could make it switch out the codfish for like an extra piece of chicken, and they said they can't do that. So my little hack was that there was a kid's chicken strips meal, which comes with adult size chicken strips, tenders, and that you get two sides with. So I did a side of fries and a side of green beans and a side of hush puppies, and the whole thing was $12 less than the adult meal, and came with a drink. So there still are some hacks that you can do as an
Until
adult.
they change those.
But you got to really think much
Thing is,
harder.
you have to know where to go, and for the average tourist that doesn't know where to go, like they're not in the know like that, and it's hard. Now people are literally trial and erroring all over again. What we once knew back in the day that worked, it's not like that anymore.
No,
and they're changing things all the time. Nothing's
looking at
consistent
theme park,
anymore.
Casual's comment, I have such a hard time buying food at Disneyland, only on special occasions, except ice cream. That's an anytime thing. Yeah, that's something that I've found myself doing too. When I'm down at the parks and I'm live streaming, I've got protein bars in my bag. And the only time that I'll buy something, it's like, is it something that I really want to get, to something that I really like Gasparilla Grilling Games. I love getting the Angus burger there. It's so fresh, and the pastries that they have there, like that's one. I'll usually go to Contempo Cafe. I do not get pizza at a Disney park unless, the Connections Eatery actually has good pizza, but I think they get it from Via Veneto, I think. The pizzeria over in Italy. I think that's where they get it from. But for the most part, I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, this is god awful expensive. I can't bring myself out of the pocket to pay for it unless if it's cold brew coffee, I have to have that. And I get that from Joffrey. I get that from Joffrey's.
But Erica's going to get her $26 slice of cake.
Hey, I'll do it once. Yeah. And it, you know what? And it better be so good. It better knock me on my
ass. You know what? I will go to the cake bake shop just to be a pretentious Karen. Because if it's $22, that thing better be served on Jason Momoa's abs. Okay. I mean, I know he's got a dad bod right now, but no. No, I will go there. I will go there.
He shows up with his long locks. Lorena, I've got your cake for you. Here you go.
I would tip extra for Well, folks, we totally did not get to the main topic that we wanted to, but no worries. We'll try to get to that. We'll try to get to that next week, because we do want to talk about DIY Halloween decorating, especially when you see stuff at the theme parks and you're like, oh, well, I'd like to recreate that at home. Well, that is a cottage industry, especially on YouTube. So we definitely want to talk about that. So it will be a little bit of behind the eight ball for Halloween, but you know what? Christmas is coming. And if you've seen a lot of the expensive Christmas Disney decorations that are out there, there's going to be some hacks for that too. So we're going to be talking about that next week on the show. So folks, let's let everyone know where you can find us and what we have going on. Ron wants to start first. Tell people where they can find you and what you've got going on.
9:30 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday. We do the Daily Dish, where we talk about parks. I'm looking to possibly expand. Well, I'm already expanding the subject matter of that, not just to parks, but also to pop culture, movies, and entertainment. typically I focus on parks, but I'll add some of that in. And of course, we still do family vlogs, funny shorts on the channel. And I can never get it done. My stupid story about how I used to be a cast member and I want to start a whole series on this. And it's been my biggest procrastination ever because I'm like, how do I do this and do it right? And, but I will start. Probably it'll be on Tuesday because I'm not doing a daily dish on Tuesday, but with a vlog about my first day in 2014 as a Disney cast member and what traditions class was like. At least that. So
okay,
that's it.
All right. Well, folks, I have got, by the time the stream ends, I will link to Ron's channel so you can go and check out all the awesome, amazing stuff that he's got going on over there. Erica, where can people find you and what do you have going on?
You guys could find me at Erica-Raff or hanging with Erica and Raff. We're not really posting a whole lot right now because it's Halloween and it's our busiest season. I have a few videos up about Halloween, and then we have some travel videos up from a wine fest and a castle tour that we took a couple months ago. So I do have content up. It's just kind of all over the place. But I'm working on a part 3 to behind the scenes Halloween on how I set things up and hopefully do a deep dive on how I built my Haunted Mansion floating bride animatronic.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like,
I saw that.
So cool.
If you want a sneak peek, go to my channel and you can find short and you will see a sneak peek bride. She with that point, she's about 98% there right now.
It is flipping awesome. So folks, please do make sure you go over and subscribe to Erica's channel. She's got such awesome stuff going on, especially decorating. I watch her stuff and I'm like taking notes, which is why I'm doing a Recon stop in the Michaels for some Christmas ideas that I'm looking at. As for myself, of course, at 8 p.m. Eastern on my channel, we got a double shot watch party for you, which I do with Retro Nerd Girl. We are going to be watching The Nightmare Before Christmas, but before we watch that, we are going to be watching It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So you definitely do not want to miss that double feature at 8 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Sunday is going to be a busy streaming day for me. Besides the fact that at 8 p.m., of course, is a Welcome to Florida show. Besides the fact that at like 9:15, if I'm running on time, we're going to be watching The Penguin. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have our Disney Ween member watch party where we are going to be watching The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. We're going to be watching The Skeleton Dance. We are going to be watching Hocus Pocus and probably a few more things. So that is going to be a fun block. I'll be posting some details. We're probably going to go on for a couple hours with that, as it is a webinar. If you happen to miss it and you're a channel member, you will be able to go back and watch it. So just to have some fun, dredge up some old school 90s Disney Halloween type of memories that we have going on. So yes, hopefully you guys can join us. I do have to mask it for broadcasting on YouTube, but it's okay. Just think about, back in the day, pay-per-view, all of that stuff. And it's about the commentary. And I will say with The Nightmare Before Christmas, yes, I will be singing because dang it, you have to sing while you are watching that. Especially, the song with Lock, Shock, and Barrel. That's one of my freaking favorites. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here with us. I want to thank Erica and thank Ron for hanging out with me here. Please do make sure that you check out their channels. Please do make sure that you check out that Park Place as well, since we are affiliated with that Park Place. all the news that should be fun. So definitely check them out along with WW Pro's channel, as well as we also happen to appear on his channel sometimes as well. So you guys have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.